Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to talk about and review Flatliners. Flatliners, the original, is a 1990 film that was directed by Joel Schumacher, and the plot is we meet this group of doctors, or aspiring doctors. A lot of them are in medical school, but one of them, Nelson, played by Kiefer Sutherland, he comes up with this idea. He just becomes incensed with, well, hey, let's put ourselves to sleep. And when I mean asleep, I'm talking about let's put ourselves to death, of course, under safety precautions, and we plan to bring ourselves back just a couple minutes after. But the point is, he wants to know what's out there after you die. Is there anything after you die? What can you experience? What are the goods? What are the bads? And it makes sense. I think we all wonder what happens after you die. But once each and every one of them starts to go under and experience this, well, they all find out the hard way. It's not all roses. That there is some messed up stuff that can happen to you after crossing over and coming back. Now, what I think of Flatliners is, I enjoy this movie. I do, and it's funny because it's one of those movies where, like, I'll watch and review movies for the very first time. I'll talk about them, and a lot of the movies, people are like, really? You've never seen that movie? And it's true. This film, somehow, some way I have seen, and the way that I saw it was when I was in high school. I took media class, and our teacher showed us this movie. And it's funny because it's, in retrospect, it's like, why did he show us this movie? But I'm glad he did. It was one of those films that I'd never known about before. Kiefer Sutherland as Nelson. Obviously, Kiefer Sutherland is a great actor. He is. And I feel like he has the hardest job, the hardest character in this movie to get right. Because sure, he has this idea. Sure, he wants these people to be a part of it. So in a way, he's a character to look up to. But when he goes under, some weird stuff starts to happen with him. Some weird experiences and weird images. And it stays with him. And he gets the worst side effect out of all of it. But he doesn't tell anybody. He lets them go under without warning them or anything. Kiefer Sutherland plays a character who is a little ambiguous. You don't know 100% how to feel about him. There are some scenes where you feel bad for him. There are other scenes where you think he's being a terrible person. But his experience when he goes under and comes back, he starts to see this kid. This little kid, maybe 10 years old, and this kid beats the shit out of him. And these are the parts of the movie that my friend and I remember the most and sort of laugh at. It's still to this day a reference where he has these visions of being high up in a tree and falling, and the way how that shot of him being in slow motion falling, we laugh every time. But just the whole idea of him being beaten up by this kid constantly, like every day he comes back with another black eye or broken nose because supposedly this kid is beating the shit out of him, but he pulls it off. He acts his ass off for those scenes. You buy the fact that he's afraid of this kid. Julia Roberts plays Rachel, and this movie came out the same year as Pretty Woman, so like this is right before she blew up. And I have to say, I've never seen Pretty Woman. I can't really say I've seen a whole lot of Julia Roberts movies, but I will say watching her in this movie, not only is she a really good actress, but she's beautiful. I mean, duh, right? Julia Roberts, especially in her prime. Yeah, everyone's going to say that. Billy Baldwin, one of the Baldwin brothers that you don't hear about really at all anymore. He plays Joe Hurley. He's the womanizer of the group. I mean, he is engaged. He's about to be married to this nice woman. But back here in school, he's hooked up with, I feel like, hundreds of women. And he secretly records having sex with them without them knowing. So when he goes under, he feels guilty about that. It's kind of funny when you think about each and every one of them and their issues and how it's all internal and psychological and how it starts to mess with all of them. It's funny that his is that he just feels guilty about sleeping with too many women. It's kind of funny. Kevin Bacon plays David, and I really like Kevin Bacon here. I do. He's kind of the cool guy, the rebel. I mean, he gets suspended from school all because what? He wanted to save this guy's life, but he shouldn't have done what he done to try to save him. But I like him because he seems like a good guy, a genuine guy. He's trying to get Julia Roberts to trust him and talk to him. But also, what he feels guilty about. I liked his approach on how he wanted to fix that and change it and be a better person. Also, Oliver Platt is in this movie, one of those actors that I swear if you see a picture of him, you would have seen him in at least one other movie from the 90s, especially Guy Was Everywhere. I love this idea. I do. I love this idea of these people being curious about wanting to go under. It's really fascinating to see how this movie plays out too, because it starts out with that plot and then kind of turns into a horror movie. Seeing the way how it's shot, like certain scenes, obviously this is well before Batman Forever and anything that Joel Schumacher would go and be known and infamous for, bat nipples and everything. But he shot this really well, really spooky and creepy. I really enjoy Flatliners. I feel like it's one of those underrated cult-like films that not a lot of people have seen. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen the original Flatliners. What do you think of it? Do you like it as well? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!